it was up. And yeah, it'll definitely be interesting to see if that's still the game plan this week.
As we move away from the conversation, we can start to have a look at some individual players. I think for me, coming into this, Mackenzie, like at least from the outside, is probably the name I noticed most on this roster. Now, take the EPS with a grain of salt because, again, a 7-1 is very easy to be a highlight player. Cairo, on the other hand, obviously, you know, that was as many rounds as you could possibly see, and it was still close. Cairo still had a phenomenal performance. How do you reckon these two go like for like in the server?
Yeah, like you said, you have to take it a bit with a grain of salt. I think Cairo's performance last week was as perfect as it can be. If you have the ability to really make an impact on a game that's that close, having a KD of 15-8 is massive because it means that the rounds that they were winning, he was staying alive, having massive impact, and you know, 86% cost. It's like as perfect as a game can be for somebody that played a lot of Monty as well in that game, I believe. So definitely had the impact. And yeah, Mackenzie's a younger guy. He's coming through. He definitely has the ability to play well. And I think we'll definitely rely more on his fragging ability than, say, Cairo's leadership abilities.
Now, going to Chalet, it has, over the last 2 years, become an OCE staple. There's no two ways about it. I'm not the biggest fan of Prodigy leaving this one. It just from... Look, I'm not saying that their stats show otherwise, but for me, this is a map that when you look at the Chiefs roster, when you look at who's on that team, this should be their playing ground.
Yeah, I think so too. I think Chalet is definitely one of those maps that, again, similar to Bank, if you let the attackers get the space they want, really get what they need during the rounds, the space they need, then they'll run over you.
Yeah.
And I think we saw their Prodigies defending first. So again, it's going to take a lot for them to sort of shake Chiefs off their groove. If anything, they need to be aggressive. They need to show something different to start with, for sure.
Well, it'll be something to keep your eyes on. It is time for us to get underway, and unfortunately, well, we've had to scrape the bottom of the barrel. It's still Cousins Enox.
Oh, never gets tiring, Robbie. Thank you very much for your ever lovely introductions of ourselves. Hopefully, we aren't going to get another 7-0, although there's part of me that would be quite intrigued if it were to happen for 3 7-0s in a row. I'm not sure if that's ever been done. But, guys, a big game coming up for Chiefs. I think a bit of a trap game. Is that fair to say? Prodigy showed a little bit last week. I think for Chiefs, they're going to have to be on their A game.
Yeah, I mean, benchmarking Prodigy is tough. I think it's probably fair to say Odium are now well and truly the weakest team in the region, but it was still a very solid 7-1 victory royale in the first play day. Will they be competitive against the Chiefs, though? I'm not too sure.
I don't know how you slipped that one in, but I'm actually impressed. I'm proud of you. 89% of you guys at home elected that the Chiefs should win this one quite comfortably. And look, honestly, I can't disagree. I think also you make a good point last week. That 7-1 performance for Prodigy, we probably take a couple of points off that and think, oh, I'm not too sure. But the way that they played, I felt like Prodigy played as competitive as you could probably expect from like a mid to lower mid team in this region. I thought Davey was great on those supportive roles. We don't typically see that from a lot of these bottom teams, guys. We've been around the block. We're seeing when they come through, it's all about the fragging. It's all about the swinging. It's all about the aggression. But Prodigy, with an older head in Davey, was able to actually have some really good supportive plays. They played as a team, played off each other quite well. Certainly for this Chiefs roster, who go in as heavy favorites, again, need to just be a bit mindful that this roster here of Prodigy are no pushovers.
Yeah, you say older head. Wasn't it? I think James in the first play day noted that Prodigy had the oldest roster in the league. Was it by average age or like something to that effect, right? They have like a bunch of players late 20s, which is very un-esports-like as out against us. A view of the dog camp. Recently moved to Queensland, was it? Did you say in the interview?
I don't think he said where he moved to, so you just doxed him.
Wow. It's a big state. It's a big place.
That is. The old land of the Queen.
You're probably more likely to get eaten by a crocodile than find odor.
Chiefs on the attack first of good old Charlotte.
Double shield ban. Ooh, what are we counting down to?
To the ban, basically. It's actually in sync perfectly. That is the best drop you're ever going to get for a defensive operator.
I feel like I'm at the club right now.
Valkyrie take it off the board along with the double shields, like you mentioned as well. Prodigy will get the final ban. Who's the player top right, by the way?
Prodigy.
Prodigy.
From Prodigy.
Prodigy from Prodigy. Sami will be the final ban. It's just one of those nights, isn't it, in terms of the Oceanic League. We came into this stage, we're all like competitive. We got Orgs. How good is this? We've got mix-ups. Otis to the Chiefs. Chiefs now taking on GG. And then 7-0, 7-0 by Playday 2. And we're back to...
I mean, look, to be fair, the fixturing wasn't particularly fair for that storyline. I think Playday 2 is always tipped to be quite one-sided.
How one-sided do you think this one's going to be, though? I can't shake the feeling of trap game here. Like 7-5 Chiefs.
That's not really a trap though, then, is it? It's still 3 points for Chiefs.
Well, I mean, more so in the sense that the competitive nature of it. We saw the social media vote 89%. The vast majority are going to think Chiefs are going to win this comfortably, 7-2, 7-3. The point that I'm trying to make is, can Prodigy push them a bit more than we'd expect?
I think 3 rounds would be fair.
Really?
As a minimum for Prodigy.
Yeah, maybe I'm just on the Prodigy bandwagon a little bit. I didn't tip them. I'm certainly not expecting them to win. But I'm not expecting 7-0 territory here.
Okay.
I think when you also kind of look at the Prodigy roster versus, say, Odium, there's also, we kind of spoke about the experience of the older heads of this roster. So then are they them as prone to, you know, kind of being torn apart, which is what happened to Odium, unfortunately, in the hands of Game of Gladiators. And then also there's the added talk of Chiefs as a roster, still very new. So they don't have that same cleanliness that you would expect to see from a Game of Gladiators. And they're bringing the Kali.
Yeah, I mean, totally fair. And I think that scrappiness was shown in that Circular Spheres matchup in the previous player day. An 8-6 victory for Chiefs. So only managing to obtain 2 points from this matchup. And if you're only just joining us for tonight, Circular Spheres this evening have already played and failed to win a single round against Antic, many of whom pitched as a team slightly behind Chiefs. So maybe there is some danger about this match for Chiefs.
There you go.
And Prodigy off to the perfect start.
Yeah, Noda should know all about that window. It's a jigsaw balcony for a reason. A
Pretty
little
sure.
bit of luck there and a good jump out there from Piano.
Pretty sure 2-Harm wins that.
Well, 2-Harm would... I don't... No, God, honestly, you got me. Yeah. That was good. That's good from you. Oda caught off guard. I mean, that's also really good signs for Prodigy earlier. They're not going to just sit back. I mean, it's Chalet. You got to be aggressive. That breach opened up. Over towards office. So no Grim, no Oda. If memory serves me correct, on Playday 1 last week, he was their top fragger.
Yeah, the Kali is interesting. We saw Tex especially utilizing the Kali stage 1, I think it was, or maybe back end of last year.
He was roaming around in ranked for a good while on it.
Yeah.
When he came back to Oz.
Oh, it's the clash counter. Okay. I don't hate that. Bit obscure. Does get Mackenzie low, but able to withstand that initial...
Well, it just means Mackenzie can't really hold these longer lines of sight, and that really, diminishes the effect of the clash in terms of getting information. Fallback now for Chiefs, though, and on the rappel, X is very fortunate. Good shot from Trippin, who falls back in towards Closet, playing off the mirror window. Have pushed this clash all the way back to Solar. But a great start for Prodigy here on the defense of Chalet. 5 versus 2. Davey finding the kill. Playing the mute role with the SMG-11. He too gets in on the action, and so far it's been pretty faultless from Prodigy. Cairo loses out. Suddenly a flawless round on the cards for Prodigy to kickstart this match. Still could be that's so greedy, Quiz. Dead to rights here on 4 HP. The zapping in the background could be his untimely death soon arriving.
I mean, respect to Prodigy, they're showing a lot of respect to themselves. Yeah. Faulty for the trade.
Well, a good round.
That round looks dominant in conclusion. I think it was very much on a nice edge at that sort of midpoint where Chiefs had actually done quite a good job at pressuring back the clash and then had those cutoff positions. You think about double rappel, bathroom window, etc. But Prodigy stuck to their guns and won really key fights here. Obviously, that first initial jump out, then good hard breach, etc. And then they continued to fortify the line here. Like, this play from Trippin was huge. I thought inside a box, he's trapped. He'll play for his life, but wins that fight, swings elsewhere, also favorable.
That too as well.
So, I mean, good positive signs for Prodigy round 1 for sure.
Definitely a case of, I guess in some way you're alluding to the fact that if Chiefs kind of win their 2 1v1s there, then they probably take the onus moving forward for the rest of that round. really well played. I think the way that Prodigy kind of set up though for that round, the way that they were then falling back, a bit of pressure towards, you know, Mez and then Piano, and then fall back, play Solar side instead, and then put pressure in towards Bedroom and hold Closet with the mirror window. Chiefs really just couldn't kind of unlock that defense. Losing Oda early, by the way, did not help because the Quan Hive launch are great, clearing out key positions around that Closet area, putting pressure, forcing them back even quicker than that. And Oda, just being a top player, he can't be, you know, dying to those kind of cheese jump outs. It's also a bit of a warning time for Chiefs as well. I mean, it's the feeling I could just help not shake. Bit of trap game here. I'm telling you, this Prodigy roster's not bad. They're not bad. I'm not saying they're going to win this game, but what I am saying is we've had 2 7-0s so far tonight. A third one now would only be possible if Prodigy win the next 6 rounds.
Look, I'm not a betting man, but if I was,
you wouldn't be betting.
I wouldn't be touching that with a 10-foot pole. That would be extraordinary. But we would get to go home earlier, so...
We would. I think this one, though, might go the distance. I've had that feeling. And when I have those feelings, guys, I tell you, there's something to it.
Well,
it's not scientific. It's not logical. It's
definitely not scientific. It's not backed with anything of a factual nature.
Just my gut.
A lot of feelings down there.
There is.
I like this aggressive shield. Over towards Piano double.
Look at this from tripping here. Oh, okay, drone though. Well, he wanted to swing that.
I mean, they're showing really good temperament. They're not overstepping their mark, but they're also willing to hold down these key positions and really make Chiefs work for this map control, which is good to see.
Even that position there, you know, bot library stairs when you're kind of holding in towards Mudroom, and you got to be careful. What if there's someone that's rotating down below? Doesn't overhold that, not extending too long there. It's like, okay, let's maybe clear below a little bit. They're on the movement at 45. Prodigy, I think, are playing the map well. They're not just holding key positions. They're moving around. West Main, library stairs. We've seen them all over the place. Bar stock, everything. This library hallway as well, a pivotal position. It's Volty finds a kill on to Quiz, running around down below. Still a great angle here from Bake, which has not been cleared out. Oda playing the Jigsaw Belk. Boy, wouldn't they just love to have Jigsaw right now, though, in that position. He owns it in this region, but Bake, from said position in the library hallway with that deployable shield, found a kill. And another 2-player advantage now for Prodigy. Kick starting very well on the defense of Chalet. Tex, Oda, and Cairo. The experienced heads to try and maybe salvage this round for Chiefs.
Yeah, looking to try and open that office wall. Maestro camera, perhaps, though, will complicate things, but able to be hacked there by Cairo successfully with the Clodge drone, and second to follow. So that's good counterplay available, but still 3 versus 5. Tough round on the card still here for
Oda knows
the
he needs
attack.
to clear up Piano, though. And he's trying to do it basically by himself. They have been able to take the library hallway. There is still a player, though, holding just outside of Bathroom. Mackenzie at any point here could go for a swing, and if he is successful and kills Oda, the round is won for Prodigy. Plant going down from Tex, long angle from Bake, not really beneficial. Mackenzie goes for the body swing, just confirms the position of Oda, swings back again. Oda gets sat down, despite getting Mackenzie very low. But in the end, the diffuser has been planted. Still somewhat winnable now for Tex and Cairo, as they did not get denied. The Maestro cams being hacked certainly helped out by the Clutch drone, and Cairo, lovely walking headshot down below, and now can play from down below. Suddenly, a round which looked like could go the way of Prodigy, Chiefs are just willing their way back into it.
20 seconds then, and Tex, the last man standing. Cairo's fallen inside of a Frostmat. Are you serious? But Tex is holding on outside. Trippin needs to go for the vault and able to land the shot. A 1 versus 1 has to stick the counter defuse, and Cairo can swing around and complete. One hell of a comeback from Chiefs.
Oh, bless those Frostmat changes a while back. Cairo up and about, limping towards that diffuser, stops the counter defuse. Chiefs on the board. A calamity of a round. For all intents and purposes, Oda dying in Piano, I thought was going to be the telltale sign for Prodigy to find a second round, but so much credit goes to both Cairo and Tex for their ability to play the post plant, for even able to be capable of getting the plant down. Nicely done from Chiefs in the end. They're certainly going to be kicking themselves away with the way that they've started in a lot of these rounds. But you get one on the board, a bit of relief. Of course, now able to get yourself out of that Frostmat and slowly keep moving. You are a bit slower, of course, but Cairo was able to limp on over.
He's hobbling. He had the walking frame in front of him.
The wounded soldier makes his mark, 1-1.
That was a huge round from Kara as well with the double hack of the Maestros, because that was feeding
Yeah,
really good information against the retake. And made it quite a challenge for Prodigy to get themselves back in towards that objective. Tex did a good job stalling out time over towards that Mez position. And,
I will say as well, Oda, I mean, perfect operator there, the Grim to clear out Piano. Even if he ends up dying there, no one was able to play that position to actually get close and deny the plant from going down. So he did still do his job. Did lose, of course, that battle to Mackenzie, but now 1-1 into the third round we go. So far, some good signs, I guess, from both teams. But for Chiefs, I think they will full well know they can play these early rounds a lot better.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think the big telltale sign, and it makes sense, as even Oda himself has said, the team is still very much kind of relearning the game as a roster. On attack, they've lacked a bit of initiative, and they're allowing these aggressive solo plays around the map to dictate the pace, and they themselves often looking a little bit stalled out, perhaps, you know, lacking information or a call or whatever the case may be. So we'll see if that pacing does maybe step up gradually, maybe not even just over the course of tonight, but certainly across the stage, because it is going to take time for this team to work around one another.
Oh my goodness, and it continues though.
Another solo play.
Round. Yeah, I mean, this is what Prodigy is doing really well. Commanding the early portion of these rounds, getting active on the defense, moving around the map, peeking out here, then rotating off and peeking out there, and they're keeping Chiefs guessing. Cairo, how often would you see him die in that position? Not often. How often would someone peek that angle? So a 5v4, another opening kill for Prodigy. Active on the defense.
So the Nook available here in round 3. Quiz currently thinking about advancing up trophy stairs, but the barbed wire makes that a challenge, and Tex on the rappel with no explosives on thermite, so forced to smack it. Player also down below lurking on the Ash. The potential for util clearance as well. Again, I get the sense, it's starting to feel again like they're just looking a little bit stalled out. Trying to work out how they're going to unlock over towards trophy. It's Oda for 2, playing this possession outside front yard. Much better this time around.
There is actually one holding that window, of course, along with the Alibi Prisma too. Faulty was actually just playing behind it, but didn't have the angle on Oda, who retrieves the diffuser with under a minute remaining. 3v3, another close round brewing here in the third. Oh, the slow peek out from Davey. That's not something that we're used to seeing from him, but I think he maybe got forced out of Closet. Slightly giving the advantage now over to the Chiefs late into this round, in towards Solar for Oda. They're going to go for a solar side plant, but love the angle. Discovered and found here from Bake. Plays it nicely, but can't get out of bathroom safely. Down to Faulty in the 1 versus 2 in office. Double impact grenades available.
Very winnable. Way to Chiefs select to go. 20 seconds on the clock.
He's watching the solar entry, but by now he should know they could, of course, make their way in from bathroom side. Impacts does get Quiz off of that diffuser. Does he swing from Closet here? Oh my goodness, no one watching. Creeps up closer.
Timing.
Spots one, the timing, 8 seconds, but Quiz gets off and helps out, and that is going to be a much needed round win for Chiefs. Ooh, again, spicy. But Chiefs will take it. 2 rounds in a row for them, and just biting and fighting back now against Prodigy, who are clearly here to play.
Yeah, these rounds from Chiefs are far from convincing, but they're at least showing good conviction. Struggling again in the early round. Good roam from Faulty. Thought that moment there was a little bit sloppy from Chiefs to stack over towards Solar, but a really good snappy trade. And then Quiz here in the late round, getting off that plant.
I think that's a smart play. Yeah, I mean, at that point, you've got one player covering you, but if he just close checks you and denies that plant and is able to back around the corner, I mean, then that could be the round over. There's still enough time. I think it was 8 seconds. 8 seconds on the clock, so
yeah.
So, kitchen and dining for the 4th round. Chiefs certainly getting a workout here, though. Which, honestly, I think for this roster is probably a good thing. I don't think they would benefit that much by like a 7-0 beatdown against a team like Odium. I think they need to learn to play together in these tough moments. You know, Tex and Cairo playing off each other in a 2v2 or something, in a post plant, the way that you position, the way that your teammates like to operate, all of these things that you will learn more in these closer games where you're getting tested, you're getting pushed. Sure, they'd be disappointed with the fact that in the early game they're certainly not playing to the level they expected they could get to, but don't get it twisted. This is still a team that was, put together pretty late in the piece, certainly with the addition of Oda. Jigsaw on the way later at the end of the month. You got players that are essentially playing for their position in the roster. All 5 of them. Oda included.
Yeah, it's only very early stages here for O's play day 2. And even Oda himself in the interview post-play day 1 stating that the team really is just looking to build into playoffs. They're fairly confident they'll be able to make top 6, and I don't think many would disagree with that. Top 2 for seeding isn't critical.
Good ping information off the Lion EE1D. How often do you see double red pings off the back of that utility this day and age? Easy one for Faulty. I keep saying it, guys, but it keeps happening. In the 4th round now, we continue to see Prodigy's ability to move around the map of Chalet, find these different avenues time and time again. It's proven to be a difference maker.
Yeah, they're getting outlurked at the moment. Player in a decently powerful position, but really good flank game and offer there from Prodigy. And so once again, Chiefs are going to have to fight from behind.
Oh, he spotted that late, Oda, and he went back for it. Needed to fall off the window. Punished. Kyra, though, very quickly responds. That was certainly needed. And Quiz elsewhere gets the kill onto the roaming Faulty. And spotted one through the floorboards from Quiz. Okay. Advantage back to the Chiefs after what was a 5 versus 3 start. Wow. 4 kills in a row to Chiefs. Not much that Trippin's been able to do. Does get a kill on to Cairo lurking around Trophy Stairs. Tex can get the plant down. Now they know where Trippin is. Rotates back over through bedroom. Can drop the hatch. A bit of yellow ping intel, but Quiz with another sharp shot. He finds 3 in the round. Somehow the Chiefs, who continue to just throw away their lives so early in these rounds, keep finding a way to win them.
I feel like I might be about to say the stupidest sentence of my commentating career, but
say it. I'm all
that
here.
almost felt like the most convincing round from the Chiefs, yet the start was their worst round so far. Like, they lose the first 2 picks. The player lurk and then Oda trapped again, bad timing. And then they're just able to swarm Trophy and just farm picks. I don't know. This has been a weird game. I understand that Chalet can be a little bit more fluid in terms of how it plays out, and the dynamic is a little bit different to a more structured map like a Clubhouse, for instance, but it's been a bit all over the shot at the moment. With Prodigy running rampant early round, Chiefs finding it difficult to then get themselves back into the rounds typically, but then we have that round there, round number 4, which was a bit of an anomaly where they're farming picks, and even with the vert advantage above, Prodigy not being able to convert. So I think Prodigy will be a little bit disappointed with how that round quite literally unraveled in front of them. And now the scorecard starts to get a little bit more concerning as well. A 3-1 lead, and they'll very much feel like they're, not being rewarded for the effort they've put in so far.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think a 3-1 scoreline right now as Chiefs is actually totally fair. In saying that, Quiz 8-2, he was great in that round. He's certainly been one performing in the middle portion of these rounds. Tex and Cairo have been able to have some good late round executions, and Oda's been a bit shaky. Player still yet to find a kill, but he's been thereabouts in terms of helping others. So, I mean, honestly, credit to the Chiefs for fighting through a lot of this contact, because Prodigy have been throwing a lot their way. Feels like they've had like the last 3-4 opening kills, Prodigy, on the defense, and just unable to capitalize. When the round gets a bit tough, they do fall away a little too easily. But just their ability to roam around, get an opening pick, keep the pressure on the Chiefs in the early portion of these rounds has been great to watch, but their inability to follow through and convert in the rounds has been quite telling. Scrappy fight from Oda. He'll happily engage. Gets the kill on to Trip and takes out default towards Solar. And now, for what feels like the first time all half, an opening kill for the Chiefs.
Yeah. Faulty, though, still up, and he's been a menace in the early round. We'll see what kind of an impact he may have going forward in the remainder here of round number 5. Player doubles down, though, and Chiefs have shown an ability to snowball these rounds quite effectively. You are right. The first 4 rounds, the entry going the way of Prodigy. The last 3 prior to this round, thanks to Faulty, but he's now in the grave, and Chiefs set up for another round win.
Just wonder if this is the kind of round where Chiefs have really kind of just talked about the fact that Prodigy are on the move very early in these rounds, and they're looking for these kills. Maybe sit back, hold the exterior a little bit, expect them to be aggressive, expect them to be moving around, hold your angle a little bit longer, and then they might actually come in towards the sight line.
Oh.
But the edge out, it's an easy play from player, and that probably actually bodes into what I was talking about, where he's just holding a position, wait, and eventually they'll come to you. 5 versus 2, 60 seconds. Chiefs have played. This has been their best round. After you just said the last round was probably their best round, this is now definitely their best round.
Oh no, far more convincing than the last round, that's for sure.
Bake stuck in sight, low on health. It was fireplace for Davey, who hasn't quite had the same impact in this game as he did last week, and in the end, flawless from Chiefs. Okay, maybe just starting to work out Prodigy a little bit, 4-1 lead. Sure, it's not 7-0 territory, and while the rounds have been closer than a 4-1 scoreline really highlights, it's, well, job done for Chiefs. At this point, 1 round to go in the half. If they can make it 5-1, that might just be too much of a margin for Prodigy to bring back.
Yeah, I totally agree with Chiefs' slightly different approach there, being rewarded well, not trying to force the lurk too hard and that early pressure on towards site too much. Instead, just kind of bided their time and waited for Prodigy to misstep first, and yeah, it worked out quite well in that previous round. Finally able to convert entry. Good day from Quiz so far in the office as well, highlighting his performance so far.
Defenders, protect your bombs from being defused by attackers.
Currently 8-2. And I think for many, I don't know if you would agree, but I think for many, when we talk about the potential of Jigsaw joining this roster at some point in time, Quiz was probably, in the eyes of many, first on the chopping block, maybe. Although a tough decision, but clearly tonight, having an outstanding performance.
I think one of the big things as well, when you look at this roster and the way that it's been constructed, I think a lot of eyes are on Tex, Oda, Cairo, and most importantly, Oda. 4 and 4, couple of assists, not really having a huge standout game. It's actually Quiz who's kind of had his performance as player, gets 3 kills in that last round, right? So it's highlighting to me this is definitely a team's team, and not just individuals coming together and franking out. Oda wants this to be a team. We know if Jigsaw enters this roster, sure, he's going to pop off and be an absolute fragger, but you need everyone to be capable. If Oda has an off day, it can't just be then automatic loss. You need others to be able to stand up and take over the workload, and they've been able to do that. As for Prodigy, I mean, what do you kind of take away from this? I know we've got 1 round to go in the half, but they're being somewhat competitive without really getting reward for effort in my mind.
Yeah, for sure. Very unlucky not to win the upstairs defense earlier on in the piece.
Second round.
Cairo hitting the clutch after the frost mat. That was very unlucky. I think the last round, Chiefs were certainly rewarded for a good round, and the entry was a far greater improvement. So, Prodigy probably feeling a little bit down on themselves at the moment, but need to refocus here for the final round of the half. A lot of dangerous tools available here to the attack for trying to clear these roamers. Logic Bomb rains out.
Yeah, a bit of
and
Dockerby.
the Nook can lurk as well.
Yeah, it feels like Dockerby has dropped ever so slightly since the recent change with the Logic Bomb.
Yeah.
45 seconds per charge. Another chance there from Mudroom for Quiz. Finds his 9th kill, almost a 10th, but it will force Mackenzie back down below. Of course, with now the Dockerby changes, it's no longer used as an entry tool, more so as a mid-round and late-round tool, which I think is fine. As teams adjust and players adjust, I think Dockerby's pick rate will probably fluctuate back up.
She's fine.
I think she's more than fine.
She's still too strong in the late round for
Yep.
my liking, but don't mind there being a couple of busted attacking tools, to be honest.
It's fine.
Does reward teams that are well coordinated as well, which is always a positive. Elsewhere.
Oh, Bake is in some trouble here. Very low, pinched in over towards Piano. Bit of pressure now coming in towards main breach. Nitrocell available for Trippin. He's going to have to be very good with this to try and get over the half wall in towards default. Hasn't made a move just yet. Although Tax is knowing full well there is a player behind that wall. He's played this too many times over. Flashes come out, little reposition for Trippin, and look at the utility. Logic Bomb, Hype Launcher, where do you go? What do you do? So much utility.
I probably wouldn't run into the bees as my first option, but
No.
I can understand there was a lot of pressure there. Trying to be sustained. And Chiefs walk out the other side of the half with 5 rounds.
Yeah, it's crazy. After that opening round, then followed suit by some pretty dominating early portion second, third, fourth round, all opening kills go the way of Prodigy. Chiefs honestly have really impressed with their ability to conduct themselves in a match where they haven't been ultra dominant from the get-go in a lot of these rounds. I think they ended the half exceptionally well.
Much
the final
better.
2-3 rounds, they were incredibly dominant, but there's every world in which Prodigy could have won the first 2-3 rounds even. That was the start in which Prodigy played well, but Chiefs, to their credit, answered the call, and a 5-1 lead. While it's not 7-0 territory, it's as close as you can get. A 7-1 could be on the cards here as they go defense Chalet, and our speed run of the night continues here. Snow Wine to begin for what will be the 7th round.
Yeah, I figure we'll probably get some insight in the interview, but at least from my view and what we can see from the outside, it looked like the decisiveness from Chiefs became far more confident and, for lack of a better word, more decisive as the match went on. Whereas at the beginning, they were getting stalled out a lot for the mid-round. Their early round play was really not great, but we saw kind of that light switch on towards the back end of the half where their lurks were a little bit less aggressive. They were more willing to lean into the likes of the Nook and play stagnant positions and kind of just wait for the likes of, Faulty to fall into unfavorable fights. And then their mid to late round decision making was a lot more concise, and that really reflected in the amount of pressure that they were able to put on Prodigy. The util, dumping and positioning and timing was also far greater and far better. So, yeah, credit to Chiefs. I think it's fair to say at the beginning of that match, Prodigy quote unquote unlucky with some of those end results in a couple of those rounds, but as it progressed, Chiefs well and truly the better team in the server, and so we'll see if that continues here for their defensive efforts on Chalet. It is basement up first. Tubarao Kaid combo in play for Denial. A pretty classic lineup from Prodigy in response. The ram for lobby for a quick vert through front door. Finger also in play. We've seen Saved play it a little bit already so far this particular stage.
Yeah, the LMG over
on the side of CS.
First game of the day. Had a couple of good moments, but obviously as a team, they just couldn't get anything going.
Yeah, we'll see if it has an impact here on this particular attack. There are some players off site to be cleared. Quiz most notably in Master Bedroom currently.
Bake through Ego in towards Office and good entry.
Is he aware of the push through Office though? I don't think so.
Definitely the way that the positioning there of Quiz. Well, it's that maybe not. He has moved over to watch Trophy. Oh my
double
god,
swing!
the double swing! Oh, bit of help from Oda, but not even needed. Mackenzie, I think it was just shook.
Wow. I thought he was dead to rights.
I mean, he knew that Quiz was going to be coming down Trophy stairs. He was not expecting the swing from Dining, though, through Oda. And another opening kill for Chiefs as they've really put their foot down in the last couple of rounds to take a commanding lead in this game, both on the scoreboard and inside of the server. It's been the Christopher show. He used to go by Christopher.
Did he?
He did.
New law
Not for long.
New law unlocked.
Not long, though. I can't remember which stage it was. This player gets a kill onto Trippin, and it does feel like it's fizzling out a little bit here, Guz.
Ooh. Well, Bake at least finds something
He's baking.
in this round. We'll see if he can cook up a little bit more. His fragging power will be required over towards library stairs. Hex holding down the line.
Oh, that's clean from the old man.
Oh.
Actually, I don't know how old Hex is, but
Oh.
he's been around a long time. There is Quiz for a second. Goes down to the hallway. They now know where Davey is, though, stuck inside a bar. In a 1 versus 3 that still needs to make his way down the basement. 30 seconds remaining in the round on Kumai. No, so annoying as he plucks that one out of his foot. Tex and Oda doubling down in towards blue. Cairo on site and at any point could easily swing these stairs. If not mine, no vision, no time, and 6-1 is looming. Default also shot out. But hey, there's a bulletproof camera as well for good measure. Good kill onto Oda, expecting the swing. But Cairo, oh so patient, and is rewarded with the final kill of the round. And it will be match point now for Chiefs. It's only 8:29. We've got 1 game to go after this. Yeah, the boys.
What's everyone going to do between this and EU, though?
That is actually a really good point. You know, Mr. Fresh on desk.
It's like when you pre-game too
Yeah,
much
it's
too early, and then
that's it.
you're waiting for the Uber to come
Nah,
to send you to the
you
club.
don't need to go out anymore.
To sit at home.
Just like sit at home, watch NAL. So master bedroom and office for what could be the final round of this game here on Chalet. Man, 7-1 though.
Attackers need to locate and defuse as many bombs as they can.
It doesn't feel like a 7-1.
No, it really doesn't.
I think certainly Prodigy can take a lot away from this game. I think they can certainly look at the early portions of their rounds and think, okay, we did all right here, but we went wrong there, and we went wrong here, and we didn't play this the way we could have and maybe should have, and we lost a couple of rounds off our own mistakes. But credit to the Chiefs. I mean, Quiz 12-4, clear MVP for this game. Everyone else on the roster has got 5 kills. Talk about an even spread. 5 for Player, Tex, Oda, and Cairo. While Quiz leads the way, and that's what you want from a roster, and also from an individual level. You know, you got Jigsaw breathing down your shoulder. You know he's coming back soon. You know he's coming. He's going to be getting a slot in this roster. You don't want to be the one that misses out.
And look, we've said a couple of times now, certainly the first half of the match felt quite close, and again, I think the opening kill metric really does reflect that. Last 3 rounds, Oda, Quiz, all converted by Chiefs in a confident fashion, you know, comprehensive fashion at that. So Prodigy aren't even able to find some kind of edge in one of the thirds of the round. Their early round has now been a struggle, and they haven't made up for that through the mid-round or the late round. So, again, I think a large portion of that is attributed to Chiefs, who, much like the story of their stage, are looking to build into things, have built into this match in isolation quite well this evening. OCE are in play, though, for round 8. So we'll see if Mackenzie can cook up something with those Talon shields. Oda on roam duty. Well, that wasn't the cleanest of kills, but still finds Bag. Play over towards Mudroom as well. Trapped and hunted down.
Yeah, I mean, it's actually one of the inverse disadvantages of that Talon shield and placing it down there in the doorway to Mud is that your just ability to push out is going to be a little bit hindered. Ooh. Oh my god.
You know who doesn't lose that? Jigsaw.
My god. Jigsaw's going to be joining him at the moment. I don't think Quiz is going to be the one heading to the bench the way that he's playing in this game. 3 versus 2. Davey and Faulty. What can they do to cook up a spectacular comeback in this round? Davey over towards front entry.
You've got to try and isolate backstore. Easier said than done, though, with Mez pressure front door.
Oh, there's some good shots landing onto Oda, but not enough to get him down over towards Barstalkers.
Well, Davey has snuck through, though, so this should be a kill.
Davey does make his way in, but he's spotted on the hallway, and Tex is not going to allow him through. Top floor library stairs, watching down below. That's Kit down. That's going to be the GG from Cairo coming out a little bit early, and oh, wow, players left the server. Wow. I don't like that. I'm going to say it right now, guys. Cut that shit out. Yep. Cut that fucking shit out. That is absolutely disrespectful. This is the 2nd time now. Stop it. I'm talking to all players. We've seen Turd do it. We've seen Chiefs now. Why are you leaving the server? Player, you played like shit today. Like, seriously. Like, grow up. The game is live. If Faulty clutches this, now we've got to wait. We've got to get you back into the server. Like, it's absolutely ridiculous. Just play the game.
Oh, he's walked away.
Nah, that's pissed me off. I don't like that.
Not happy?
Nah, not happy.
Yeah,
I will say this, the GG's one thing. Cairo can say GG, whatever, and have confidence in his team. But to just leave like that, pitiful.
Bit cringe.
Bit cringe. All right, Chiefs win. Let's move on.
Yeah, 7-1 dub. Not the best of starts for Chiefs in this particular matchup, but able to build confidence throughout, get that result. There better
be a good excuse as to why he's just done that.
I don't think there will be.
All right. Well, it spoils, honestly, a bit of a decent game there from Chiefs in which they calculated their aggression, started to get a bit of control.